pew pew whipped, and robbed. This is the story of the second download dude I ever talked to. So picture it. I say I was at least 16 at the time. This man was well into his late 20s, early 30s. I think we started talking at the time on MySpace, or it could have been A4A or BGC. Grind and Jack was not out at this point in time. Maybe I'm showing my age, but I still look amazing. It was like, when I'ma let him come see me this after, I was like, well, I don't know if I had to be lying about my age. No, I wasn't lying about my age. I was lying about my age in the beginning, saying I was 21, but y'all, if I can find a picture, I'll put it up here. I nowhere near look 21. He was like, I'm gonna come pick you up from your house all the way on the other side of town. Like, anybody from Alabama that know, he stayed in Regency Park. I stayed in Southland. Like, this is a good bit of difference. You going from one end of the city to the other, dang near. He was like, he came to see me this, that, and the third. Okay, boom. First night I'm over there, he actually leaves me in his house to go to a party, which I thought was so crazy. Like, you just left me in this house, I'm asleep, this and that. He just wanted to spend time. In the house, knocked out, sleep. Next morning comes, he takes me to school. After that, we started texting, talking back and forth, this, that, and the third. He starts pressuring me to have sex. So we go over his house, and this is the funny part of the story. I'm guessing that the condom was too big because he was going with the motions. I was sitting there taking the motions, okay, for TikTok purposes. And of course, if y'all didn't know, I'm wearing pink, but my nickname is Red Snapper. The thing came off of him and it was stuck inside of me, so I had to go to the bathroom push. Cool. I don't know. I'm in the kitchen, y'all, for whatever reason. Like, I'm fixing something to eat because I'm hungry. I ain't ate all day. If you know, you know. I go in the kitchen and I reach up to get something. He comes behind me and he kissed me and he slides a ring on my finger. The ring is too big, mind you, but I'm thinking it's cute. And he was like, all these lies about how he gonna marry me, X, Y, Z, this, that, and the third, blah, 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 blah. At the time, I'm believing this, for sure. I'm engaged. I have a ring. Nobody talked to me. Okay? I am a teen bride. So from that point, you know, days go by. I'm still going to school. We still in contact. I'm still spending the night. He's still doing that weird thing where he goes out to parties late at night. Back of the story, I left out real quick. So he does something to get money, but he has a lot of clothes, a lot of jewelry, a lot of everything in his house, if you can get where I'm going with this. Y'all, I go out and I chill with one of my frenemies that day, and he looked at my ring. He's like, keep my eye and put tape and everything on the ring just so it could fit, but I'm holding it like this so don't nobody really see the tape, but you know, I'm trying to get the illusion it fits. And he was like, without any type of hesitation, you got that ring from such and such? I was like, yeah. Y'all, why does he pull out the same ring? And I was like, that's so messed up. Like, he gave us both the same ring. He was like, yeah, he just got the ring. Mine was, I was engaged, so in my head, I'm still better than you. And then also, my friend had never been to his house, so I'm still better than you. And then certain things that he did with me, he never did with him, so I'm better than you in my head. Long story short, we sat at that table, and we had started planning to get revenge on this dude. So he was like, yeah, the next time you go spend the night over his house, call me and I'm gonna call such and such. Such and such was another friend of ours who was around the same age, but he was a little bit older. He was involved in a whole lot of gang stuff and a whole lot of other stuff as well. Fun fact, this is the friend that later on drugged me at the club. But not to get ahead of myself. So I went over his house and I spent the night. And he had already told me he was going out to a party late that night. He would not be back until the morning. Boom. I called them, send them the address, they come over. Part of the story I didn't want to tell y'all. So when I said pew pew whipped, he didn't do it. My friend did. And they emptied out the house. So later on, I called him, make it seem like it was this whole debacle in blase. He heads back. The man had, held my head, tried to do what he could. So you're not going to take me to the hospital? He said, I can't, which I already knew that he couldn't because simply for the fact I'm underage and in your house. Whatever happened, I knew he just had to take it. Was not gonna be any cops. Did I talk to dude after that? Yes. But we then stopped talking again over some other stuff. But this was just a fun little cute story to tell y'all. Sorry if y'all didn't know I'm a little ghetto. But that was in my past. I was 16. So now we're both a victim. If he sees this, this is actually what happened. Allegedly. All of this is for entertainment purposes only. Sad to say, I was this easy. I was really one of them people. If you told me I was attractive, I'ma go. This is the story time of my first time messing with trade, aka down low men. So I want to say I had just graduated from high school. I was still 18, but I was going to Alabama State campus. You know, I had my little fitted jeans on and my little fitted top, and everything was fitted, y'all. Just little tight clothes. Whew. I'm walking around on campus until one day it's this car slow dragging, like near me. And so I look back because I had my headphones in. I take it out. He was like, "Hey, come here, man." I was like, "What's up?" He was like, "Well, he a barber." So y'all know I do not be capped out. My first trade was a barber. Okay. He was like, "Oh, take my business card, and if you need a haircut, you know, just call me this, that, and the third. I make house calls and all this stuff." And then he just started to mind, and yeah, you so beautiful, you this, that, and the third, and blase, blase, blase. Now, I'm not gonna lie, my skin was flawless, but all the compliment he was doing, he was laying on thick, y'all. My self-esteem was so low, y'all. One of my friends used to joke about, if somebody call you attractive, you'll sleep with them. And that's how I wound up fooling with this trade in the first place. He told me I was beautiful. I'm finna go. He wasn't even that cute. He was like, "Why don't you come with me real quick?" I was like, "I got class. You know, one thing I'm never finna miss is some money, or because refund checks had dropped you and you had to be in class to get your refund checks. So I wasn't finna miss no money to go lay up with this dude. He was all right, but I wasn't finna go. But he complimented me, so I was finna go. I said I got out of class like 6:45. I hit him up. I'm still on campus. He was like, "You still on campus?" I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "Okay, I'm finna come pick you up." I don't know what it is when I be in the car, they love looking up in my doggone face. And yeah, we finna have an accident. Pay attention to the road. Like, you finna see me in whatever form I'm gonna show you in a little bit. Like, relax. We get to this hotel down here, y'all. Hotel, motel, Holiday Inn, whatever. The thing literally charges by the hour. Okay, and we land there in the bed. Well, he's sitting on the bed. He's asking all these questions about what I do, this, that, and the third. I tell him, "Hey, I'm Verse, and, you know, I'm not finna do you until you do me." He was like, I don't put stuff in my mouth. I said, "Oh, okay." In my head, I said, the devil's finna make a lie out of him today, because I hate when any man tells me what he won't do. Especially if you ain't doing that, nothing's really finna go down. Okay, cool. When he said he don't do that, I stripped completely naked. I finally take my clothes off, and I just lay there in the bed. Because, once again, the devil's finna make a liar out of you today. So, boom. I'm laying there completely in the nude. Guess what he starts doing? Yeah, because I thought so. Don't ever... Please. You might roll dubs, you might have G's, but fuck that nigga. Get on your knees. He hit me with the, "Oh, I ain't never did this before." Y'all, he made my toes curl and my eyes roll back. All try gonna hit you with that, "Oh, I ain't never did this before." Yes, you have. Yes, you have, and you're doing it quite well. So, you know, I'm squirming this, that, and the third. I'm just enjoying myself. So I said, okay, I'm going to return the favor. Y'all, I returned the favor. He's in awe. So, fun fact, when I was younger, I could do this thing where I could kind of unhinge my jaw. And I have an overbite, so nothing ever, like, scrapes in my mouth. So, cool. Started doing that. Oh, my God, man. I got to cut the lights on because I just got to see this, that, and the third. Then he started asking me questions like, am I going to catch it? I said, no. Finished them off. And he was like, yeah, man, we got to link up some other time. In my head, I'm thinking, possibly... whatever. This is the first time we linked. The third time is when I was officially done with this man. Sad to say, I was this easy. I was really one of them people. If you told me I was attractive, I'ma go. This is the first time we linked. The third time is when I was officially done with this man. He dropped me off back at home, and he was like, "Well, you know, if you ever need the thing, just hit me up, this, that, the third, but just make sure it's a decent time, because my wife," I said, "Oh, you're married?" He was like, "Yeah, I'm married with kids," which wouldn't need nothing crazy, because y'all, I done been laid up with somebody granddaddy before, but we gonna get into that story later. In my head, I'm thinking, no, I'm not gonna want to link with you, because I had to go through all these hoops just for you to go down. So why would I link up with him again? Against my better judgment, I linked up with him a second time. We linked up again the second time. Boom, same situation. In the same cheap hotel. The third time we linked, y'all, is when he had me all the way messed up. Third time come, he don't take me to the hotel, y'all. He takes me to this house. Now, the house not run down or abandoned, but you can tell anybody been in this house for like some time. And then ain't nothing in there but like a sofa. I said, what type of crazy stuff is this? Y'all, this is why I knew I had to stop messing with this man. First time we linked, oh, I don't do that. Second time you hit me with that again. Third time, y'all, we having the typical oral. This man finishes, does not tell me that he's about to finish. Disgusting. Disgusting. But that wasn't even the part that was number one. But then he talking about, oh, it's your turn. He pins his legs back, the smell. I said, you know what? No, don't worry about it. Just come on, take me home. I waited till I got home. And y'all, when I said it was my first time drinking bleach, like real life bleach, because I still had the taste in my mouth. I was throwing up from the bleach. But when I tell you it was still better than, if you've never drunk bleach before, please do not do it. Like my inside was on fire. I thought I was finna die, but I just hated the taste of whatever he had put in my mouth. But yeah, that was my first time fooling with trade. That was my first trade, like, ever. After that situation, never fool with him again. Cause who you playing with?
Who that is? Hey, bitch, it's your boy Kodak, and I'm back. I ain't back. We kind of got rewind and bring the process back up. So it's your boy Kodak, and I'm back to you with yet another story time. But basically, y'all know I ain't been doing story times in a minute, but it's for a good reason. So I've been gearing up for this album. I'm finna drop these freestyles. I'm gonna keep the story times coming y'all back to back. So if you see me with this shirt on and like 50 other story times, just mind your motherfucking business. Yes, the whole deal laundry. Further to do, this is the time I trashed my ex's job. I could call this like the most toxic relationship, but this is gonna be a series. So before we get into the story, we're gonna come up with a code name for this one particular ex. We're gonna call him Tiny Tim. That's it, Tiny Tim. So anytime y'all hear me talking about Tiny Tim, it reverts to this story time, because this is the longest relationship I ever had. It was like 4 years on and off. Very toxic, very tumultuous. But we finna get to the time that I had to pull up skirt, and I don't even drive. I had to pull up skirt to the motherfucker job and let him know what time it was, because I'm not one of them. Don't play me picture it. It's 2013, something like that. I'm in college, and I had to keep out my other sister right here, because see, Blanche, me and her is the freak hoes, okay? Me and her gonna fuck some shit up, so y'all know what time it is. So, we've been talking since I was like 17, so it's only 2 years in at this point. But he always had this bad habit of, anytime he want to go cheat, he'll break up with me just after. So we get back together. He done got his income taxes, he done cashed everybody out, gave everybody some money, and gave me shit. Went about him a we brought him a Grand Marquis. I'm texting his phone, I do not get a response. So he ain't responding to my messages this after. So I'm like, okay. Back in the day, I don't know if y'all remember, but if you had one of these, you could have infinite amount of numbers. So I had like 3 phones at the time. Plenty of SIM cards with different numbers, this, that, and the third. So I put one of the SIM cards in my phone, and I called him from my phone, my number, and he ain't answer. So I text him from my phone. He did not respond. Okay, cool. I'm not gonna trip. I'm gonna get your ass, bitch. So I text him from the SIM card number, right? This Negro responds. And I was like, hey, this, I remember because I lied. I said, this Quincy from Jack or Grind A for ABGC. Y'all know when they checks, date, whatever, okay? So I was like, this Quincy, you know, you gave me your number on the this and the third. I said, what you looking for? He said, a relationship. We're in one. You gonna waste my time like this again after you done begged to get back with me? Cool. So then, from that point, I stopped responding. So y'all, in my head, I know, okay, you just bought this car. I ran the Dollar General. I ain't got the king size car because I'm gonna go to your job and I'm gonna put this in your game tank. Since you love this car and these hoes so much, I'm gonna ruin one of the two for you. Like it's not gonna go down like that today. Okay, cool. So I had to call my homegirl to come pick me up because I didn't know how to drive still on, and I ain't no car. So get the Snicker bar. We pull up. It's probably like a 30-minute drive. Cool. We get there. Boom, boom. Pull up. I got the Snicker bar. I see the car. I'm gonna go up into my big one. Y'all, this is the craziest thing. Pay attention to what I say. I'm gonna go to you. So because it was like 4 police cars outside, and I ain't told y'all what you work at because this is the game. 4 police cars are outside, and I'm like, I just can't walk up to his car and do something to the gas tank because the police are going to see, right? So I said, you know what? Go into his job. This is what his job look like. Now keep in mind, I'm not going to do the Snicker bar in the gas tank because the police are outside, the police will see me. If you know anything about the subway, this is the game. The subway is nothing but mirrors or like glass in front of the building. Like you can see in from the outside. So why I didn't want to go mess his car up because the police was right there, but like 5 more feet was the building. So anyway, I walked up in there and he's serving somebody at the counter. He has literally one guest. And the man is him getting his sandwich made. And sir, if you ever see this video, I'm sorry for you. I hope you enjoy it. But so then I walked up to him with my phone in my hand. I said, you said you looking for what? Y'all, this man gonna laugh. A relationship. I said, all right, I'll be right back. I went outside. And I came back in there like the Incredible Hulk, y'all. So I came back in there. When I say I threw every table, every chair, every bag of chips, I threw the phone that I was pretending to be another nigga. I threw that phone in his face. And so then he just up there laughing the whole time. I'm throwing everything, this, that, and the third, blah, 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 blah. And then so, you know, I hop in there, I hightail it out of him. Okay, y'all, so later that night, he called me and he was like, you know we done, right? Nigga, be for real, I was done with you when I went to your job and trash the place. What you talking about? You know we done, right? I was done with you! But he's talking about, no, you wouldn't because you wouldn't do all that. Yes, I was kind of to let you know not to play me. Then he get to talking about y'all, well, I knew it was you the whole time, but no, he didn't. No, he didn't. Tell me I knew it was you the whole time. If you knew it was me, why you didn't respond to my message being serious, but you want to sit there and play on the other phone? You playing on the phone. I wasn't playing on your phone. I don't know why you didn't respond to me. I told you I was at work. But you had time to respond to this stranger at work. Make it make sense. It did. So he's talking about we done, which granted we got together like 7 more times after that, which granted he was right. I went up with him and he went up with me. But yeah, long story short, and the sad part is the lesson you have to learn, which I'm still learning this lesson to today. Toxic relationships, y'all, the whole back and forth, tit for tat shit, that is dead, let it go. I'm not saying that you can't spin the block and go back and see if something is, you know, worth another try, because I do believe in that. But in certain situations, you know the mess be toxic. Don't sit up there be trying to make something out of nothing. He was doing all this talking about, yeah, the manager wanted to know who it was. I told him you was an angry customer, so he wouldn't press charges. I don't give a fuck, you know better, bitch. I wish you would. Yeah, that's another story time for y'all. And I may give y'all a story time on how he ruined Valentine's Day. So y'all make sure y'all, if you got this far in the video, do the poll. Do you want to see part 2 of the most toxic relationship ever and how he ruined Valentine's Day for me and why I hate it to this day? Yeah. So peace out. Safe sex and paychecks, y'all. Holla at your boy Kodak out.
What it is? It's Kodak again. And I'm back with another story topic. Y'all missed it. I was got some juicy stories. I think I'm gonna coin the phrase hotel.
What?
Cool. So anyway, this is the story of the time I met a DL celebrity. Okay, so first before we get into the story, I want to give y'all a few blind item number 1. He is an R&B singer, not Atlanta. That is not Atlanta. This is Atlanta, but he is not Atlanta. But he got his start in Atlanta. He has done a movie. Now he has quite a few of these. He has worked with the Queen of Rap. Y'all see, I tried to put my head on Nikki body. Shh, don't tell him. Y'all, this almost fit perfectly. But another blind item, this dude has been exposed before. So picture it. Atlanta, Georgia, 2014. I don't know what it was. It had to be in like August or September because Reaper and Tex had just dropped the Alabama set or whatever. So cool. I'm gonna go with me and my homegirls to Atlanta for the Burner Brothers hair show. Like it's stressed to the sea every time or whatever. But this was like one of the event centers or whatever that we was. Yeah, I was looking good too. It was like this big event center where people were selling hair, they was selling makeup, fashion show going on. People selling Leica products. Like it was just so like everything going on there, whatever. But anyway, this was the outfit I had. I just wanted to show y'all the best part. It didn't decline. So this is a close up of what I look like in person or whatever. So you know, girl, I didn't say I was doing this. So I want to put a picture out there. And she not approved. But y'all know I'm a big Kai fan. So Kai was there. I was upstairs. She was downstairs. I was downstairs. She was upstairs. It was probably like 10 of us in the room. So everybody braced off like it's a different seconds or whatever. So she had signed a copy of her album Love Life. Kai, if you see this, I still love you. Fun. Okay, so going to the event center or whatever. I don't know where it was. I had got separated from a group. I was just standing off alone. I don't know why the fuck I was, but I was just like, oh, I guess I was going on shopping with my own thing because I wasn't too far. Like, you know, it was probably like 10, 15 feet away. I was standing off from everybody. But I don't know what I'm looking at, what has my attention or whatever. But I see this weird ass, like, dude, like, behind me. I feel like he's just staring me, undressing me in his eyes. So he walked up to me and he held a conversation. And I'm looking like, y'all literally, like I said, y'all would know his music, but I didn't know who the fuck he was. I was like, he said something, but I got freaked the fuck out. And then I walked the fuck away. So I'm walking away. I'm saying, well, this man over here. And the black is like giving me this weird ass eye. He tried to talk to me or whatever. I go over there and said, I'm like, you creeping me out, whatever. And then my other homegirl, she was like, that's such and such and such. And she go rushing up there, hey, this is such and such. Say, can we get a picture? This, that, I was like, I didn't know. I did my homegirl wish me out of the way and stand my ass spinning into the phone or whatever. So everybody else getting pictures. And then he says out of his mouth, I never forget, you know, I feel like a star, whipping my 40-inch bust down with. But he was like, come on, my guy, do a picture with me too. So he slid me right between him and the ladies. And he put his hand on the small of my back. And then I said, you know what? You got, this is all me, literally. I'm gonna put y'all up on that. So, got the picture, right? Fast forward later, this one story that don't nobody know. I had posted the picture and I had tagged him in it. Okay, I'm running out of time. So, come in part 2 if you want part 2 of this video. Peace. Who there is? It's Kodak Ken. Parental advisory is strong. It's just a story time on my first time with the dude. And I got a visual representation of all this stuff, everything's documented. I become big receipts. Y'all know I really be proving shit. So, without further ado, this is my first time with the dude. Let's go. So I had to get by my twin sister. That's her right there. Y'all see the resemblance.
Cause we'll be a freak until the day, until the night.
Picture it. 2008. Montgomery, Alabama, the home of the Riverfront Brawl. I'm 15 years old in this story. This is what to go to girls who've been. Love you, dog, Dorothy. But I'm 15 years old in it, and at this stage of development in my life, I just knew, bitch, we're never gonna be together. That is crazy. I'll never be in the same room. And urges, yes. Desires, yes. How long have I known her since preschool? But I just knew in my mind, bitch, we'll never be gay. Ever. I hate to be this on screen. Cause I've been doing this shit. So, in the summer program, really the niggas was mad because I was still there looking down on them. And to be honest, I was feeling a couple of their balls too, like, what time these y'all was staying into fights with any that I have wrong with authority, I have wrong with other quote-unquote alpha males, because I'm the alpha of the alpha. And eventually, they moved me into the room with the gay boy that just was known at the time. Like, he was out there having sex. But I said I would never do. But we were cool, cause if I was like once we like within the same like roommate type situation, bring me food, and it's real sweet, realizing never know type of complaints or feelings or whatever. But I mean there's a big but. I mean the big but the nigga was thicker than cold grits. Okay. We stand in the room the whole time that we say together, nothing weird, nothing sus happened. Right? Side note real quick, so a fat ass complete kryptonite to Superman, period. But yeah, so it was a summer camp. I don't know if I said that, but we were staying on campus in dorms. So that night, for some reason, he just started paying some of the finest gay at the offer. It, I'm not sitting there watching and keeping my, but he like, look at this, whatever. I'm like, you nasty, disgusting, get away from me, all this, bitch, you gay. The whole time, though, the whole time. The whole time. And not to mention, he got a stupid fat ass. He done laid down, finna go to bed. I done got aroused. And I'm thinking everything's good. Another successful day of not being gay. Little did I know, everything was about to go completely. Oh, ironically enough, I just knew I was gonna be gay, but at this point in time, only thing I knew was I'm finna make the first move because, like, I'm super. It's time to go. I went down there and I started like my life depended on it. And so the whole time he's on my own. This can't be your first time. Now, it was my first time, but anything I do, I strive for excellence. I am slightly a perfectionist and I'm just really talented. So yeah. But so after, I perform for the Olympics and I go to big climactic things. So he was like, is you gonna catch it? So of course me, I'm stupid. I don't know nothing like catch what, but then I need to get on my knees to pray. So I'm shocked I got on my knees for that. I'm thinking how the corn industry makes this look so delicious and appetizing. I just knew I had to keep me stoned. Let me get a plate to take home. Cause I just know this gonna bust like me on the first date. Like it's gotta be pretty good. Like y'all just making it look too appetizing. It look like ice and like I'm just knowing that if nothing else, I have to do this. I'm just knowing. When I say it tasted like beach water and I don't need a lawsuit. After that, hormones still raging, we still trying to get it in. Okay, now it's time to see who's finna do the bending. This is the second time things went completely left. And let me give you a visual aid of exactly what I'm talking about. I told you I was coming with receipts. Alright, so after the trauma scene, a little dark 3,000 later, we flipped it, reversed it, had a nice time. Okay, boom. After that, the dude started liking me, which also, in my head, bitch, you done did this with this boy, and now you gay. And then, on top of that, the boy wants to say that he wants a relationship. Excuse me, sir, that's not where I'm at this juncture in my life. I'm sorry, you're gonna have to please pause. I cannot take this currently at this moment. Like, not gonna work. So, I go home after that, and I remember my mom had just bought me a 12 thing of Krispy Kreme donuts, right? And she was like, how was everything? This and there. And I was like, I just didn't want to talk with her. But I go into the shower, and this is what I'm doing. I am balled up bucket grabbing. Oh. ate the entire 12 count of Krispy Kreme donuts, and then went back to private shower again. Then I went back for the last couple of days of the program, got some more gawk, and 80 bodies later, here we are.
Okay, so this is the story time of when I got booed off of BET.
Yo, famous! Your favorite bitch!
Yes, they booed y'all famous bitch. Let me see your story, because I'm not gonna lie to you, I kind of deserved it, but not really. But whatever, cool. I was a recording industry with a minor in recording technology major at Alabama State University. I wanted to be like an artist who could read his own contracts. It was always important to me. Being in Alabama State's music program, you got certain perks, like we could go to the Grammys. For like when people came on campus, like for homecoming, we set up like the stage and everything like this. So we got backstage passes. We could get in free. A whole bunch of perks. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you, it's tea. Yes, and shouts out Dr. Ashbourne. So we knew BET was coming on campus before anybody knew. And so we had the opportunity to sign up for the freestyle competition, because you had to get there early in the morning when I go sign up for the competition. From that point, I go ahead and I'm like, okay, I need to go home and change, because you looking at your opponent, seeing whatever you can say. And since none of us know who we're going against, you can't find no personal details. So I knew who I gotta be fresh to death. I had my polo boots, my little Rue 21 jeans, my Express shirts, and this cardigan with a scully. My hair was not done, but I knew you needed to wear a scully. Boom, outfit was T. And I'm finna tell you how I knew this for a fact. Fast forward later on that day, it's time for everybody to get on stage. I wasn't the first one to get up. I wasn't the first one to get up there, but I want to say I probably was second. So they paired everybody off. I think it was 8 of us. I, of course, the gay boy had to go against the girl. So the one on stage, she actually was a girl, sweet girl, and she was talented. When she was freestyling, looking, she was looking at my clothes. She could find nothing to say because the bitch was fly as fuck. I saw everybody else was tearing apart, everybody clothes and outfits. I'm like, y'all ain't know y'all was gonna be on TV?
Why would you come out the house like that and you knew you was about to be on TV? Girl, them cornrows is chewed.
If I hadn't had nothing to wear, I wouldn't have got up there, because they was gonna tear your outfit apart. And I'm not gonna lie to you, it was some dudes in the front of the crowd, so they was booing everybody, because how they got up there, they ain't pick us or whatever. They thinking they picking people from the crowd. No, we had already been picked, signed up backstage and all that stuff, and all of us was in the music program, so we knew. So when it's my turn to freestyle, y'all, so I don't care what nobody say. Freestyles, some of it is written. I don't care if your favorite rapper, they always off the dominant, they're lying to you. They may not have wrote it, but they had something mentally prepared. Like, this is a line, we're going to open up with this, and then we're going to go into freestyling. Boom. When I came in, y'all, I guess I came in too fucking hot. Because I remember it wasn't a freestyle. This was something I had previously wrote and recorded. Because, like I said, I was transitioning from battle rapper to freestyle. But I was like, I come with flow you never seen, son. I spit like a machine gun. These rappers better duck and run they pussies, and I'm fucking one. You niggas know you 0-1. I was on beat. Whatever freestyle I had, I was going to make it go to the beat. I had to find one specifically for her that I was going to add what. Instantly, as soon as I opened my boo. And so then I turned around and started rapping to the audience, because nigga, who is y'all booing? I'm on stage. It says Kodak Ken up here. It says Kodak Ken up here. I'm on BC. You're in the crowd. A lot of people saw it from different states and stuff. It was kind of funny. But I don't know. I kind of liked it. And then I said, you know what? I'm going to use the intro. Like Beyonce used on the intro of Bow Down. She had, it's the hip-hop rapping girls time. We run to the gym. I said, I'm going to save that intro because I need it for Bad Now. Y'all go check out and stream Bad Now by Kodak Ken. Here's a snippet of the video. Safe sex and paychecks. I'm out.
They say I'm kinda mean, like it when I pop slick. You know I cause a scene when I step out caution. Never in your dreams entertain some gossips. You know I got that steam, hit you with the hot shit. Pass me the Jose, I ain't tripping. tripping, I ain't thinking with the hoes ain't. Cause what they eat never has, no can make me shit. Monkey see, but monkey can't do it, bitch. Talk to me, where the bag at, homie, where the cash at, though? Yeah, you jump fly, shot it, I'm in airplane mode.
I ain't trying to make this a worse thing, but this is something I feel like people should look into, or when it comes to your kids, kind of be aware of the school situations and programs and stuff that you're putting them into. Is it good to intermingle with different races, ethnicities, genders, different types of people from all walks of life? Yes, because it prepares them for the real world. However, I feel like I was put into a situation as a child that kind of altered certain things about me. In 6th grade, I had finally got accepted into the magnet school. I always wanted to go there because my mom said, if you don't go to the magnet school, you're going to have to go down the street. The other nigga churn, you know, they beat up sisters and stuff. She wasn't calling me gay, but she was just, hey. So you go to the magnet school, you get the better education, better food, better trips. You can go out and experience different things that you normally wouldn't. For the most part, in the elementary school, I was either on all A honor roll, or I missed it by 1 point, or AB honor roll. Get into the magnet school. In the beginning of school, y'all, I'm already getting weird looks. I'm thinking maybe because I'm a new kid. It's a couple of black kids here, but by far we are outnumbered. Fast forward then, still getting the weird looks. Months later into the school year, I'm like, at this point I made a couple of friends. I'm not new. Some of us be playing Yu-Gi-Oh together. We done broke off into clubs because, you know, they got the golf club and the law awareness club that I was just automatically put in. I never signed up for law awareness. I don't know why I would be put in the law awareness club. A lot of the Caucasian students would be saying white power. One day, it was like Spirit Week, so we had different things going on. And I always love fashion. I always love clothes. So when I say I'm dressed to the T, it was T. I just remember the puff vest because that's important for this story. It's this one short white boy that had always been popping jokes and stuff like that. I was already irritated. He was like, that's why you ain't coming back next year. And he said something about white power. And I was like, just say the word because you want to say. And he was like, he didn't fully say it, but he said Nick, and y'all, my handprint was like plastered on his face. Everybody made this big scene. Teacher come over, hey, what happened to you? What happened to you? His name was Chris. I don't care. Like, it just actually happened. I'm not lying. So he was like, what happened? What happened? And he was like, oh, I threw my milk carton up in the air and it hit me in my face. I was like, this is the dumbest lie. So I went ahead, came forward, hey, I did whatever. Boom, they gave me 5 days suspension. My grades were already kind of good. Keep in mind, he said that's why you're not coming back. So you had to have a 2.5 minimum GPA to stay in this school. Keep in mind, when I came from elementary, my GPA was always like a 4.0. First semester, 9 weeks at the magnet school, I had like a 3.0. After that, I say I had a 2.8. Around the time that this fight happened, it was a 2.7. So I want y'all to know, everything added up. But I noticed like my grades in certain classes were slipping, but I was buckling down harder in them. It was reading, it was math, and it was science. I had always loved science, always a science. Math was kind of tricky, but I was good with numbers. Reading, can't nobody ever play with me. I can read a bitch and I can read a book. Fun fact, in 5th grade, I was on a 12th grade reading level. After I came back from suspension, I noticed the science, reading, and math teacher were kind of towards me. So we had finals. I remember studying everything like so well. Y'all, when I say I did terribly on the test and I was like, this don't even look like my answers how I bubbled in anything on the Scantron. I paid all of this off as, hey, you're crazy. Don't make a big fuss about it, blase, blase. Fast forward in this story, at the end of the year, my GPA had become a 2.45. They did not round. You're not going to be able to come back until you get your GPA up and then you can reapply. After that, I did get my GPA up to like a 3.8. Still would not accept me back. Here's the get you gotcha. When I say I turned 20, 21 of this, that, and the third or whatever. One of the girls, her aunt was the English teacher. But she basically gave me the whole rundown of how it was a plot to make the school more Caucasian or black students who were not as, I guess, in my sense, aggressive since I had gotten into a physical altercation. Long story short, they was up there feeling churn and getting them kicked out of the magnet school just so it could look a certain way. That's my story. Just want to share with y'all comments, concerns. Let me know what y'all think. I would normally ask, am I tripping or am I reaching? But no, this is an actual conversation that I had with this young lady. So I have reason to believe this. She actually was kind of apologetic and sad. But it just made me think, had I stayed on that path, what would have become of me? Like if I had to just bit my tongue, let them continue to say whatever. But then it also made me think like, well, the people who didn't fight back in a sense, they graduated, went on to do better things. Like, are y'all now in y'all fields, clutching y'all pearls and having to pretend like you don't hear certain things? I know something was wrong with this dude. I was too old for him at 19, and he wanted me to have a three-way with a balloon. The type of balloon, he's in prison now. And I actually had to speak to the victim's mother. This dude was so adamant about talking to me. He had seen me on the apps or whatever. At the point in time, I had a very young looking face, and I was very small, very petite. Finally linked with the dude, and he was like, so how old are you? And I was like, 20. It's been 19 or whatever, but I was saying 20 because my birthday was finna come up. And he was like, man, you ain't gotta lie about your age. And he was rubbing on my leg. Now, at the time, I don't know if it's in a correlation, but I had on these stupid pajamas. Somebody had got them for me for Christmas year, and I always like stupid people. I always say I remind them of stupid. What up, cool? But he's like, I like your pajama pants. Finally, give him the time of day. You can come inside the house, and you know, we finna do wah, 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 wah. He comes up there with a duffel bag. Y'all, he pulls out a balloon. Some of these balloons are shaped like people. You get what I want with this. This balloon was a baby. I was like, no, weird. He wasn't attracted to people who were of age. He was married, and then he had a stepson. Boom, a few years later, what do I see on Facebook? His mugshot going around. The mama put him on blast. Now this was an upstanding member of society. He was in the Olympics for like swimming. I think I had sex with my dear coworker, and I really can't wrap my head around it. Me and this one particular coworker would go at it, arguing. Keep in mind, this is a straight heterosexual man. Like, he would run up on me, act like he want to fight me. He even pulled out a knife one time and was like stabbing shit around me. Like, then the next minute he would be cool. Next minute again, back to cuckoo. But he would always say little stuff like, oh, I bet you stay in a hotel. At the time, I was staying in a hotel. Then later on, he said something like, I bet you got a little apartment. This, that. He was saying like specific things about where I stay and where I live, and I thought that was so weird, that was so crazy. One day, I just looked at how he was built. Here's the backstory, the part story I didn't want to tell y'all. So at the point in time, I always believe in having multiple sources of income. One of my other sources of income was, how can we say this? Just pretend I'm your mother.
Your mama was a prostitute.
Whatever, cool. I was a businessman. This one particular regular would come over. He would lay his gun on the dresser. The house, apartment, hotel room, whatever I was in had to be pitch black. But he would come in, hoodie on, jacket over there, jeans, Tim. I did always peep his car. He would change cars, but I knew what his main car was. And this coworker also had one of these cars. This sounds so crazy, I'm gonna say this on camera. But so y'all, he had a ski mask on. It was anonymous situations, but the money was always left on the dresser. But then one day I just started sitting back and thinking like how this dude kind of seemed like this is what you shape like. Keep talking about where I stay. So I don't know. Could it have been him? Yes. He said something one time, y'all. It was something graphic. I was like, huh? So that's the end of the story. Bye. This download man called himself, wanted to come out the closet for me. He wanted to introduce me to his friends. I met him like on the downtime when I was like on the rebound, and I was on the apps or whatever, and I was looking, and like the figure of him was like nice. The body was T, he had dreads. It was a back shot, so I'm thinking like, cool, this is a bottom. I'm finna have a great time. You on the app, let's go, whatever. I'm never on there looking for wee-wee. Sorry. Unless I'm depressed, but that's a different story. Just story for another time. And I also was on a substance. Okay, no, it wasn't this. Tic Tac. I shouldn't say. That's important for the later part in the story. I'm just giving y'all the setup. He was texting me, but the thing is, like, a lot of times I be wanting to like link with dudes, but then I really won't link with dudes because it really just be, I just be wanting some attention. He was persistent about linking. And he was like, oh yeah, you can come here. It was raining. You can come here. He comes to pick me up. Cool. In the car, he's not the best looker in my opinion. And then also what kind of threw me was he said he was this particular age. In my head, that was a lie because you look way older. Boom, came over there. I'm admiring the house. The house is really nice, y'all. It's like kind of in perfect condition. I'm feeling like this really can't be what's going on. Like it's too good to be true. I'm trying to feel it. He got exotic pets and everything. He used the bathroom. Go in the bathroom. This is weird stuff I'm noticing. He has like a plunger in the tub. And I was like, one or two things I'm thinking now the one I really want to think about. But we gonna move on. Cool. I go back out there and then like we watching TV and he keep trying to get me drunk. I'm like, okay, he telling me about himself. I'm still feeling like something's not right because this house is really nice for you to be a straight man with nobody that you talking to. Like it's too nice. He didn't decorate this himself, y'all. I mean, it's nice. not gonna lie to you, I did something with him that I said I would never do. It wasn't no nasty type of play, but it was just something I said I would never do, but he got me to do it, and I kind of was living for it. And then I was finna kick it up a notch because I asked him to do some other stuff. Thank God he never did, because looking back, I would have hated myself. It's certain things that sexually have never been done to me, and will never be done to me. We going back and forth, we doing our thing, like it's really, really kinky. Like I'm just, whatever, like I'm enjoying it. So then he wanted to go to the bedroom, and so we led to the bedroom, but he wouldn't cut the lights on. So I'm trying to crawl in the bed. I done almost fell through a section. I don't know how the bed is set up, but he would not cut the lights on. But it feels as almost as if he pushed two beds together. I crawled on the bed, we on the bed. And I slide in them. Okay, cool. Sex is bomb, having a great time. I didn't know I was gonna have this much fun. Even though it was planned on, I kind of like, I don't know, like I set an alarm to really go over the smoke and drink and then go back home. So I had set an alarm like, I had to be up for work, whatever. I was off work. So he was like, that's your alarm, this, that, and the third. I can take you to work, you can just spend the night here, this, that, and the third. And so we had laid down for a little minute, cuddle, and took a good little nap. But I was like, no, we got to get up, take me home, whatever. The next day, y'all, we started texting and talking back and forth like we was on each other bad. But he started doing stuff I didn't like. Like he would send me like his gas tank. And I was like, this ain't it. Self-accordingly, but he had even went off on me. I want to show y'all the voice messages and the text messages, but he had kind of went off on me because my phone was always on do not disturb. But I was like really fucking with dude like heavy, but my phone always just stayed on do not disturb because I honestly didn't want to be bothered. But he was like, you got a man, this, and third. But if I did, that was my business. Whatever, cool. So one day, I just had it in my heart. But I had bought him like a couple of groceries because like he was hungry. I was like, you can cook some stuff, but he was like, this is where the story kind of gets crazy. So I was like, you can cook some stuff. He was like, he cooked a little cup of like macaronis, but he wasn't like actually cooking the food that I had got him. And got some good stuff, y'all. It was shrimp and ground beef, hamburger helper. Like it was a little something to make you a meal or whatever, cool. And I don't just typically spend money and go out and do things for dudes. Like first, they typically have to do it for me. So the fact that I did that with you, did I like him? Probably not really, because he lied about a couple of other things, y'all. We finna get to that. Cool. Okay, boom. Got him the groceries. He didn't cook nothing with the little macaroni cups. He wanted me to come over there and cook for him. I don't know why. I just was not in the business of finna cook for this man, because it's like I had already bought the food and I had other stuff going on, and then you sending me your gas tank here. This was to help you save money, because in addition to doing it, he still was going out spending money and eating McDonald's every day, y'all. In addition to McDonald's, he didn't even drink like a sweet tea or orange drink from McDonald's. He would sit there and literally get a bottle from the liquor store or like a beer or something. Like this man never drank water. Later on, I would just be asking him like certain questions, and the questions just never made sense. Like the dude was lying. It was so irritating. And then he'd always try and flip it back on me with you this and you blah 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 blah. I didn't like him enough to keep up with the timeline of certain things he was saying, but I knew it was a lie, but I just didn't have the bandwidth and the capacity to really like crack him. I was trying to crack him again actually, but one day we was at my house and I was down doing whatever before things went other places, whatever. I see a flash of light. This man has me on video. Okay, boom. He was like, luckily the phone died and it was my phone. He said, just something for you to remember me by. Boom. From that point, get up and get out. Like, child, I need space in the break, this, that, and third. Cool. He goes. He calls me, leaves this long, drunk ass voicemail kind of going off. At this point in time, I just took me like 2 of those things, and I'm having a bad reaction. This is the good part of the story. So I'm on whatever. He's drunk, left the voicemail calling. So we on the phone and we on FaceTime or whatever. He walks into a Circle K. Now, if y'all know my little spill gone wrong story time, go back to the part where I said Brown worked at the Circle K. Okay. It's 40 some parts, y'all probably ain't gonna find it, but Brown worked at the Circle K. He in there and he's talking to a gay dude at the register. He's like, yeah, the person on the phone don't love me, they don't love me, they supposed to love me, and this, that, and the third, blah, blah. Like, he's going off doing all this crying, telling his business. He might have been on the phone for like 2 hours. I don't know why this man is putting on this show right now and this stuff. Yeah, I pulled both of them. Boy, you barely pulled me. Relax. Like, you all right, and you do stuff that I like, but you just relax. He ended up talking to the gay boy, and I'm like, okay. The phone hangs up. I called back 3-4 times because at this point I'm pissed because we had been locked in together at this point for like a good bit of time consistently. He calls back and he's like, you know, I got an iPhone, so when you paying for something at the counter, the phone hang up. I said, sweetheart, I have 2 iPhones and they don't work on mine. So what is you talking about? I said, who was you in there with? Keep in mind, at this point in time, what I was on was taking into effect. But this was a bad, I don't know if I can say it for TikTok, even though it's an actual word, but think of Lima, Pinto, Black Eye. No, that's peas. But you get what I'm saying. It's in the family. So boom. Whatever was in this one was bad. I was having an allergic reaction. I didn't even get the up effect. I had got extremely cold, y'all. I mean, like shivering, teeth chattering. Like I done cut the stove on. I turned the heat up in here. Like I am freezing. I'm under 2 layers of covers. Like, ooh. So I'm trying to talk to him. I'm trying to see if he was at the gas station that Brown was working at. And it's like, you playing me because you ain't answering the questions. I'm trying to see blase. Keep in mind, I didn't know at the time that Brown had been quit working at the Circle K. He hang up hours later past. He called me back crying in his car because he had left his keys at some work party or whatever because they were sloppy drunk. So now you have to sleep in your car. And I was like, somebody, the steward's not adding up. Granted, later on I found out what it was. He was asking, could he come, like, spend the night here? I was like, yeah, you can, but what time you get up for work in the morning? Because I got to get up at work at, I think it was 8. So you weren't finna be in my house while I wasn't here. And then he started, talking about, oh, well, I thought we was getting close to moving in together. Nigga, you just tried to play in my face while a whole nother nigga at the gas station. You done lost your fucking mind. I told him he could come up. He's like, is you gonna be mean to me? Start crying, all this stuff. We stopped talking from that point because I think I laid him out, but then also he's low-key a narcissist, freak ass boy. Long story short, come to find out that when his house, it was his uncle's house. His uncle was a traveling something and he was out of town. But yeah, that's the story.